See when the stream goes live so I can know when to start and we can tweet it out.
Do it.
All right, I think we are live. We'll give it a second, let some people get in here. Let's see. All right. So welcome to the stream, everyone. We are joined with Nick from Guild of Guardian. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk to you about this game. I don't own any of the NFTs or the skins. You know, I see that they are currently sold out on the website, but I actually have been doing some research on the game, and I'm actually pretty excited to try this out.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. I mean, we've closed off 3 waves of like founder edition NFTs, so they're all sort of exchangeable and tradable on secondary marketplaces now. But it's good to hear that you're keen to chat with you about it.
Is there going to be like a wave, like another wave of NFTs that you guys release before the game actually comes out, or no?
So not founder edition NFTs. So they were the equivalent of an early adopter series, or however you want to frame it. But the goal was to try and get playable in-game characters, unique founder edition samples of those into the hands of the people who are in the community early. So
Yeah.
we kind of prioritized getting them out with some haste, and so we did three waves of that in the last sort of 6 months, and we closed the last one actually about a fortnight ago. So we've got a few other drops and things coming up over the next little while. I can't go too much into detail. We do have one that I can talk about, which is the NRG sale, NRG Esports. So we've got a partner drop with them going live pretty imminently. Excited to share more about it. But yeah, the founder editions are done, but it's definitely not the last of the ability or the way to get your hands on things before the game goes live.
Okay. Well, first off, we should just give me a little bit of a background on the project. How'd you guys start, and just tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, for sure. So Guild of Guardians it's a multiplayer action fantasy RPG. It's basically like a dungeon crawler, and the goal of the game is for people to build a dream team of guardians, heroes, and then compete in a guild. And competing in that guild gives you the opportunity to earn some really cool rewards. The reason why we started this, and we're published by Immutable, which is making a lot of noise in the crypto space and the NFT space for what they're doing.
Less the gas fees.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big win. And developed by a gaming studio called Stepico Games, which is based in the Ukraine. And the idea was basically formed around the concept of in-game ownership. So a line that we used from the beginning was that the ownership or in-game purchasing of assets in games was like a $90 billion industry in 2019.
Yeah.
So if you look at that, that's bigger than music, that's bigger than movies, it's bigger than those two entities combined. And despite that, no one, I mean, speaking outside of anomalies or outliers, you had no ability to do anything with those items. You didn't actually own them, right? So you were paying for something that was trade locked. It was digital, but not, you didn't have verifiable ownership of it. And, let's say that you were an OG Fortnite player and you had a suite of Series 1 skins, Season 1 skins rather, that you bought for 200, 300, 400 bucks, whatever it is. They would be worth a pretty penny right now as the game matured and the ecosystem grew. But Epic Games basically puts that money in their back pocket and you can't really do anything with it. So I guess that's kind of the motivation for how this game started. And we saw a massive opportunity within the play and earn gaming space. And we were really excited about building an accessible product that put that ownership and put that power and gave it back to the players. So they're kind of the two sides. You've got the game itself and then the reason why we started. The game's been in development for over a year. we're super well funded, and we're going to basically change the way that gaming is done. We're pretty confident in that.
That's good. I like to hear the Fortnite comparison hits home for me because I have like the two earliest skins that you could buy, and they were like really rare, and they didn't allow you to sell your account. They're like, if you sell your account, we're gonna ban you. So
Crazy. I mean, and
definitely
look,
hits home.
it's kind of in a sense, it's not really like it's not their fault. It's just the way that the industry has
Yeah.
been, and that's the standard. And I think that it's due time for a shakeup. And I think that the noise around asset ownership and NFTs and how important sort of being able to authentically own and verify your assets, the shift that's happened in the last 12 months and the shift that we see happening in the next 12, 24, 36 months as the foundation for a change in the industry. We think we're ahead of the bell curve, and we've built a community of people who are really excited about what we're trying to do. So the stars are aligning a little bit for us. And yeah, we're excited to sort of flip the narrative and give people the opportunity to actually own the items that they buy. It makes sense to me, as someone who wasn't a huge gamer growing up, but I'm like you. I started playing Fortnite in season 1 with my friends, and I bought I bought the battle pass and different skins and different cosmetics. And I don't know. I probably spent more than I would care to admit.
You can actually check. You can go on there and look. It's not a fun time to look at that, but you can see that.
No, it's yeah. But again, if you looked at that product, and I had a lot of fun playing the game, but if I had that, and then I also had the opportunity to sell an asset that may have A, appreciated in value, or B, basically recoup a lot of the cost that I spent on enjoying that ecosystem, then my enjoyment of the game, my enjoyment of that experience would have 2, 3, 4, 5x. And so with that in mind, that's kind of a really simple and real world understanding of what we're trying to do. And I think that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think next year play to earn games and just NFT gaming in general is going to have is going to make a lot of noise in the gaming space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you guys' like play to earn model. I know the game is free to play. So like, what's the difference between like, first of all, like how do you earn from the game, I guess?
I mean, there's a number of different ways to earn. I think that the first thing to note is that bit of a giveaway in the title of the game, but Guild of Guardians basically is we try and encourage the co-op element of playing in teams and playing in groups. So the way that works is we sold founder guild tokens.
I saw those. Yeah.
And so essentially ownership of that gives you the access of playing or owning a guild of players. So they're different tiers. Different guilds give you opportunity to take a certain percentage of profits or sales of items that were crafted by the guild as a result of completing dungeons and battling bosses and doing different tasks. So that's a really interesting gameplay loop and a really interesting economic loop that we're excited to sort of facilitate and see how that matures. But basically, our play and earn mechanics lend itself to a very, very deep and sustainable economy within the game. So players can play for free. You start the game with common heroes. If you don't want to buy in pre-sales, you don't want to buy on the secondary marketplace. The goal of this is to make play and earn gaming mainstream. And so you can't build a price barrier to entry on that front. Yeah. And that's where a lot of games have failed because it does become pay to win. Obviously, buying heroes, buying certain items before the game goes live gives you the opportunity to play with characters or items that have certain stat buffs that gives you the ability to access content that others might not. However, the game is free to play and you can earn from playing as a free to play player without investing a cent into the ecosystem. It's very important to us. Yeah. So basically, you can play for free. You earn both NFTs and tokens. And just like any sort of real world economy, you can basically, the goal of what we're trying to do is facilitate your own investment thesis and your own gaming thesis, right? You want to be a solo player and you have reasons for doing that. We want to facilitate a game experience where you can go and do that and earn and have fun doing it. If you're someone who is all in on owning a guild and building an ecosystem of mature mobile gamers who are really good at what they do, and you think that that's the way to earn more longer term or get the better experience out of the game in the ecosystem, then you're allowed to do that. So the goal for us is basically to set up all the foundations and the skeleton, and then the meat get put on by the community. And we think that's a pretty good formula for long-term success.
I like that. Yeah. Cause I mean, you don't want to just a lot of the games are just, I like how you said play and earn and not play to earn, because a lot of people just get on, like they play the game, they earn, and then they get off the game, and then they dump the tokens, and the whole economy's messed up. So I do think it's important that a play to earn game does have a good economy and healthy economy. I like what
It's
you guys have
everything.
done. Yeah,
It's everything. I mean, we're sort of pretty proud of the way that we coined. We believe we were sort of the first gaming NFT project to say play and earn.
yeah,
And there's two reasons for that. It's kind of we think that play to earn does a good job of kind of explaining the core mechanics of asset ownership, but it doesn't. It still has a connotation that play to earn. You're doing something to get to an outcome. It's still you have to work. You're grinding. You're doing something to achieve your result. Whereas with us,
yeah,
it's like our big thing from day one has been like, let's build the best product we can. Let's build a genuinely fun and compelling mobile RPG that people all over the world can access, um, and have fun playing. And then as a result, earning is kind of a side win or another tick in the box rather than putting that first.
yeah. So compared to like the free to play and then someone like purchasing either like an epic or mythic character, is there different advantages as far as like earning? Like do certain
Well,
characters earn more than other characters?
no. So so different heroes and different levels of hero have different stat buffs, right?
Yeah.
So like a rare hero is going to have slightly better stats than a common hero, which is
Yeah.
fairly standard gameplay mechanics. Um, in terms of heroes or things or items making more than others, it's actually not something I can speak to because the meta is undefined.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's as in like you sort of have rough ideas about how you think different synergies will work and which heroes will work better with other heroes and why that's a result. And you can look at sort of historical RPGs and see, all right, do I want a healer on my squad? Do I want a group of tanks? And this is the reason why. So
Yeah.
again, it comes back to the fact of us not saying, hey, for you to do really well, you want to have these two healers, you want to have this tank, you want to have this synergy and this pet. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we are going to basically provide the ecosystem the opportunity to go and dictate the way that they win. Um,
Yeah.
and like any good gameplay mechanic and core gameplay loop, you need to keep the product evolving and facilitating the needs of the consumers. Um, so if you keep that at the forefront of your mind, and from a game dev standpoint, then you really can't fail. Um,
Yeah.
and I think where projects fall over is that they get too hung up with their own internal scope of what they think is going to work and what they think is the best outcome or the best product. When in reality, the people who are going to tell you that are the people in your community who are your early adopters and the users. And they're like, if the product that you've built is not what they want, then they'll tell you. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of for us to continue maturing with and evolving and keeping at the forefront from a business and a growth standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I know the game, it's launching on mobile, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's only mobile?
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever have any plans to like do like a desktop version of the game?
No, not at the moment. Like never say never.
Yeah.
To quote my favorite artist of all time, Justin Bieber. Um, never say never. But I think mobile mobile really lends itself to the mission and the vision of what we're trying to achieve. So, if you're serious about mainstream accessibilities, you want to build a game that has relatively low specs, very low barrier to entry. Most people around the world have a phone that will be able to run what we're trying to build.
Yeah.
Um, and if you want to go and plug it into an emulator or use BlueStacks or whatever, you can do that. Like we play test using Xbox controllers and on computer and using emulators. So I think again it facilitates both sides, but we really don't want to already implement a barrier to people jumping in and enjoying the ecosystem, what we're trying to achieve from a product standpoint by limiting it to just desktop, for example.
So what is it? Is Justin Bieber really your favorite artist? Because I saw someone in chat say something about getting Justin Bieber for a cameo.
That would have definitely been WT. I actually haven't seen his comment, but he ribs me about it all the time. Justin Bieber is my favorite artist.
Okay.
I listen to him an unhealthy amount. Um, I think, yeah, I cop a little bit of stick for it from some members of the community. But I say, man, he's got golden pipes. When
Hey, yeah, he
someone,
makes good music.
he's good.
I
He's
think.
versatile. He
Yeah.
he keeps evolving.
Yeah.
So
No, he is.
maybe we do need to get him a cameo, a GOG cameo.
So is from watching the gameplay trailer that I watched, it looked like it's a PVE game, right?
Yeah.
Like
So
RPG
you're
PVE.
battling bosses, basically.
Yeah. So, any plans on doing a PvP?
Yeah, there are, yeah, it's always hard with jumping on and talking on stream about this stuff because you don't want to commit to anything because things change and tech changes and ideas change. But we
Yeah.
do definitely have we definitely have a motivation to build that element in for sure.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. I just know, like, I mean, I've primarily play like first person shooter games.
Mhm.
I've played a decent amount of RPG games.
Yep,
And I just know that some of them do incorporate like a PvP mode, but
for
PV
sure.
is pretty fun.
I I think that it's important because in the beginning you need to build an element of competition always. And so
Yeah.
we're going to have guild leaderboards. We're going to have a number of different ways to sort of gamify that arm of the project and that arm of the game.
Hmm.
But long term, I think that PvP is something that we're very much keeping an eye on and have as a point of working towards. Put it that way. But we you know our dev team and game designers are very switched on and have a track record of building very successful mobile games.
Yeah.
So our senior game designer was I think, I don't know what number, but one of the first engineers or game designers on Temple Run. So we've got a pretty good elk of people that are basically pulling the strings and making decisions behind the scenes. So your question is good, and they are always considering and evolving on that front.
All right. All right. So more, I guess, like more about your guys' team. Like, how big of a team do you guys have working on this?
We have I need to actually think. I need to look at the exact number, but we've got a full-time development team of more than 20 based in the Ukraine, working for Stepico. Um, we've got in our team, sort of on the immutable side, you've got, I think the full-time squad's probably up to like 15 now. Um, and then a big ecosystem of sort of freelancers and contributors and people doing contract work. And so the team, I mean, I don't know what the team number would be right now, but it would be sort of 50 plus.
Okay. So
So
it's a lot of people.
it's a serious operation. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a three-man sort of fully docs team on this NFT project. Like we're, Immutable recently closed a Series B round. They raised, I think, 60 million US dollars. We've done, I think, around 10 mil US in secondary trading volume, and we sold somewhere in the realm of 13 or 14 million US across the three founder sales. So we are very, very well funded. We are absolutely reinvesting the lion's share of our energy, time, and capital into building a product that melts faces.
Yeah. Okay. And you also mentioned that you have a partnership with NRG. Is there any other partnerships that you guys have coming up?
Yeah, so we've got so one of our strategic advisors, or who we're sort of partnered up with, is Ubisoft, and we lean a lot on them on the sort of game design and sort of gameplay loop front. Obviously, they're one of the big hitters in the space. We've got a partnership with NRG Esports. So the context of that is basically we've built a fully playable in-game hero branded with the NRG logo.
Yeah.
Um, and we're excited to be doing a partner drop with them. It's their first ever crossover into the digital NFT and asset space. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have a sale for that going live quite soon. We are actually just finalizing the date in HQ at the moment, but that is imminent. And I guess the cool part out of that is that people can buy their first NFTs. The goal is to sort of onboard some more mainstream gamers out of those communities and those ecosystems. They'll have different chromas, they'll have different RNG when people can buy and summon them, as we have done with all the waves so far. And then whoever's holding the mythic, so there's a 1-of-1 mythic, whoever's holding the mythic gets a fully paid and fully expensed trip to LA to go and hang out at the NRG castle, become like the first member of the public to go and set foot in that space, go and see the gamers, go and see their personalities, get put up in nice accommodation.
Yeah.
So there's like, I think we see the esports sort of ecosystem and environment as a really good natural bridging point between crypto native people and mainstream gamers. I think that esports personalities and teams and companies have done a really good job of basically breaking down the stereotype of what a gamer is. You go back to school and people would say gamers are nerds, they do this, this, and this. And it's like gaming is bigger than most sports. People like
I don't know.
I still
I
remember
was,
like it really is just it's a huge misconception about how the space operates. And it's a very
Mhm.
old school and sort of outdated stance. And I think that what NFTs in gaming and play and earn gaming models and esports companies and sort of I don't know the how do you even say it? Basically, building celebrities out of gamers and building icons and figures. Like we're starting to see the development and growth of an ecosystem that's always kind of been bubbling along in the background.
yeah.
And you look at stuff like Web3 and you look at the ability for people to now interact and be their own content creators. And something we're really passionate about is evolving that arm of what we're trying to do. We want to mobilize and give people the opportunity to become content creators. And there are some pretty wicked people out there who just don't have the access or previously traditionally haven't had the access to share their skills and share their talents and creativity with the world. So we look at esports companies like NRG and other sort of people that we're talking to as a very, very nice bridging and middle ground between connecting with a large ecosystem of gamers who are waiting for this sleeping giant to sort of explode.
Hmm. Yep. I was definitely not a closet gamer, but I feel like Fortnite and like especially Ninja, like Ninja playing Fortnite with Drake and all that kind of definitely made the mainstream more accepting of gaming.
I would say, it's really interesting because my background's in I was fully all in on sport. My background was in sports broadcasting. I played
Hmm.
sport my whole life growing up. I still play sport all the time. And you always saw this like schoolyard dichotomy of the sportsman or the jock versus the gamer or the nerd or the bookworm, right?
Yeah.
And in reality, like professional sportsmen and women game all the time, right? They sort of commodify themselves now by going on and streaming on Twitch. I'm a
Hmm.
Sixers fan, and Ben Simmons, who is not currently playing for the team, but man, he spent more time on Twitch than shooting jump shots, which everyone can now see. Um, you got Seth Curry, who plays for the Sixers as well. He streams all the time. He takes his PS4 and his streaming rig with him on the road all the time. It's
Yeah.
like this is not excuse me, this is not a world where it's sort of isolated to these freaks and nerds and people who want to exist in their own circles. It's like this is now taking over, and the
Hmm.
shift has happened so quickly because of, and my theory is that it's happened because of the growth of the content creator economy and the ability to break down the walls between misconception and actuality. That's
Yeah.
my if I was to write a PhD and go back to uni, that's what I would do it on.
Gamers are humans.
Exactly. Gamers are great humans. Probably the best humans. But yeah.
So someone in chat actually had a question and wanted to know if you could speak a little on community development and like token rewards and how contributors will be evaluated and rewarded.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we've got this goes back to the GOG token, which doubles as in-game currency. So GOG token basically ICO'd on CoinList about a month ago.
Hmm.
We had an 82 times oversubscribed round, and it was a very, very, very hotly in demand token sale. We have a fully circulated supply pool of a billion GOG tokens. We sold 6% at a public sale through CoinList, but we have set aside, or as per the tokenomics in our white paper, 63% of the total supply pool, or 630 million tokens, are purely set aside for basically community rewards and kickbacks and in-game earnings. So, like a real lion's chunk of the total supply pool is basically put aside as a war chest to reward players and users within the ecosystem. So in terms of going into the nitty gritty or the being more granular about the details with content creator and stuff, there will very likely be incentives, and we're sort of working out how this is going to play out. But we've had internal conversations around we want to incentivize people to talk and spread the word and spread the passion about the project and the game and their experiences within the game. So, and the token for us is a natural reward and a natural element for people to sort of get back as a result of doing that, because it all goes back to incentivizing people and growing the ecosystem. The more people that we can get tokens into the hands of who want to hold and grow and hold and grow and create content and hold and grow, like you build this loop that just spirals up like a tornado. So
Yeah.
it's hard to go into details because the mechanics of it are internally fleshed out but not public facing. But what we have announced and what people do know is that there is a massive chest set aside directly to reward and incentivize people who do good things for the game and the project.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Always, you always got to have you have to have a strong community and a strong player base for a game to
Absolutely.
survive.
Yeah, the two go hand in hand. It's the
Yeah.
handshake emoji. I always use it. The two go hand in hand like that.
So another question in chat, someone's talking about merging heroes. I guess let me ask their question first, because then I have a question. And they said, when we merge heroes to create a new one, are the heroes burned to create that new one?
I will defer to Josiah, our senior game designer. I can't speak to it. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But,
Okay. Well, so my question is, I guess, tell me about hero merging.
Yeah. So essentially, hero merging is like in GOG, there's going to be a set of never sold heroes, and they can only be merged. And so players can play for free to earn common heroes. Those common heroes aren't tradable. They're not tradable on secondary exchange.
Mm-hmm.
But what players can do, and this goes back to the original earning loop that I spoke about, players can then merge multiple heroes, and they then become a higher and then tradable rarity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that means players can then play for free. They work their way up to owning legendary heroes. So an example of that is merging 5 duplicate rares into one random epic hero, which is cool because that people then also get that gacha experience of going back and having like RNG of which hero I'm going to pull here, which I've grinded to earn this base set. I am now going to go and merge. What am I going to get? And that's another little just like intricacy within the environment of earning and getting cool stuff and building a cool player experience.
Yeah.
So hope that answers the question.
Yep. No, I mean, that answers my question. I was going to ask, I did read about that you guys are not doing open world, but you're doing level based. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's not open world at the moment, and we don't. I mean, it's
you never say never.
Yeah, correct. But it's very much at the moment built out as a dungeon crawler, beat bosses, ascend, level up, go through that mechanic and loop. I think that lends itself really well to the guild element that we're building. About having different squads of heroes and different players in the guild, basically going and working on different things. Like open world is such a compelling format, and it's something that we are really bullish on and excited by.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you look at what we're trying to do from an economic and a game economy standpoint, and the guild element, it lends itself really well to basically level based and quite controlled, contained environments.
Yeah.
So
my next question is, because some of the RPG games I've played, I'll play with friends and they'll be like much higher, like their characters will be stronger than mine. Will say if I played and then I wanted my friend to play, I got him to join my guild, like would I be able to go back to like, I guess like a beginner level and play with him with my like powered up character?
It's a good question. So I think the main thing with guilds is to remember that essentially you have the ability to play with it's 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people, depending on the tier of guild that you've got.
Yeah.
And we don't really want to dictate how people build and have levels wise within those guilds. So I don't envisage a world where it's like you're prohibited from going back and playing with a new player because you have a certain level of hero.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to the earning loop in terms of it's essentially you're just playing with different tiers of characters.
Yeah. Okay. And then I did want to talk to you about the guilds, because I saw, like you said, there was like 4 different tiers of guilds.
There are.
Obviously owning a guild is probably like long term very, very lucrative, because they're earning based on when people are crafting within the guild and they're selling items, so they get a percentage of that.
So yeah, so I'll give you a spiel about guilds, because I probably haven't done a good job of explaining how they work. But our big thing is we want Guild of Guardians to be a multiplayer game. As we said from the beginning, like gaming is more fun with friends.
Yeah.
And we do want to facilitate the ability to play solo, but we also believe that the game will be more fulfilling and rewarding for people playing in a multiplayer capacity.
Mhm.
And so what we've got basically is like players who want to earn big and collect it, all the items and complete the game, we believe will want to join a guild.
Yeah.
Guilds allow players to group up. It allows them to then go and attempt the hardest and most rewarding content in the game, craft items for sale on the marketplace. And then on top of that, guilds also offer players access to game modes that are only accessible to guild members. So those game modes will basically give players an opportunity and an avenue to show off their best heroes, fight the strongest enemies, and earn really unique and rare rewards. Going back to what you said about the 4 tiers of guilds, so again, we sold them in the Wave 1 founder sale. You got an adventurers guild, which is the base level. That can have up to 20 guild members. And then the guild owner or the guild leader gets a guaranteed first cut percentage of any guild crafted item that sells. Anyone. So for an adventurers guild, that's a 1% first cut. For a
Mhm.
warriors guild, which is the second tier or the tier up, that's 30 guild members and you get a 2.5% guaranteed first cut. For the legends guild, it's 40 guild members and it's a 5% guaranteed first cut. And then the mythic guild, which is the most expensive, can have 50 members and then it's a 10% guaranteed first cut. So you build a
Yeah.
ladder, and then essentially what happens is an item sells, there's a cut taken, and then the profits trickle down
Yeah.
to guild members. So
Okay. And will you guys ever will you guys ever sell any more guilds? Because I noticed they were all sold out.
yeah,
You'll
so
put
we,
more
we've
guilds for sale.
so again that yeah we short answer is we've reserved the right to release further guild tokens. They won't be founder edition, so it's just on us to. I mean, obviously, if we scale the game to 50 million users or 100 million users, then of course we're going to need to come up with a system that basically allows people to own guilds proportionate to the player base. So, short answer, yes, we reserve the right to release guild tokens in whatever form that looks like. But no, they won't be founder edition because we want to
Okay.
protect the assets for people who are here early.
All right. And say like someone say I got on and I had no friends who played and nobody wanted me in their guild. Like what does my experience look like? Like what's it like, I guess, not being in a guild? You just can't do
I
certain quests and stuff.
Yeah, no. So again, going back to it, the fundamental thing to remember is that this is a free to play game, and
Yeah.
it is for solo and team member games, right? Like you will have an enriching and enjoyable experience if you are a solo player and you have no interest in being a part of a guild.
Hmm.
Um, we'd certainly encourage people to make their way into guilds, and I think if people are part of the ecosystem long term, they're going to have no issue finding that ability. So you've got there are already DAOs and different gaming companies that own guilds that are recruiting. Like it's been really interesting to see how some people do it and how different bodies are doing it. Like there are people offering $1,000 US referral bonuses for recruitment of really elite mobile gamers. You've got in our Discord, we've got a guild recruitment channel. Basically, people are in there all the time. Hey, I've got this guild. My time zone preference for members is APAC. Message me if you're interested. So, like, I think that for every guild that's owned, there's going to be 20 people at least, 30, 40, 50, who are going to need to fill those spots. So when you just look at it from a pure numbers standpoint, pretty much we think that anyone who wants to be part of a guild will make their way into one. There's going
Yeah.
to be ample opportunities to do so. But we're also not saying you have to go and do it. If you're a solo player, you know, that's your right. That's your prerogative. So you can go on and play that way as well.
Yeah. So what are there any games that kind of inspired you guys? You guys inspired by any other games?
Yeah, I think there's definite elements of Diablo. There's definitely a sort of WoW element as well. There's bits and pieces of inspiration that we've drawn from other places, but I would say probably Diablo is the main one, and then a healthy seasoning of WoW on top of that.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. A lot of definitely you said you weren't really too much into games, and I never played Diablo, but I did know a lot of people that loved Diablo and loved just like they would actually make money playing Diablo and like getting the items and selling the items. So I think
Diablo is great. I mean, yeah. So my background as a gamer is that I'm like you. I'm very much FPS. I like playing with friends,
yeah.
you, CODs and battle royales and Fortnites and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Um, but I believe that I played some Diablo when I first started working here, and you can just even from someone who doesn't have that level of gaming background, I can see those elements marry up so clearly. There is a massive synergy between what we're trying to do and that sort of style of gameplay. So pretty excited by it.
So tell me about the pets that you can get.
Yeah. Pets it was interesting. Pets became sort of like a really sought after and quite hot topic in our Discord. So pets are basically creatures that you can buy into your team, and they give you various benefits from a utility standpoint. So, for example, you might have increased crafting resources, you might have an increased dungeon reward rate, you might have an increased item drop chance. And so, we sold these during the wave sales or the last wave 3. And basically, players get an equipable pet that they can take into a dungeon. You've got like worker pets, scout pets, and hunter pets. They come in different rarities, and essentially they give you an increased opportunity for X within that dungeon.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a limit to the amount of pets that someone can have? Or no?
No. Well, you can only equip one pet to a dungeon at a time.
Okay, and then you can just have as many as you want.
Yeah, it's just an asset that you would own, and you can do with it what you wish.
Okay. If there's any questions, anyone has any questions in the chat, I feel like I've asked just about every question I have about the game. Like I said, I'm not like too big into RPG games. As far as RPGs, like I played a little bit of Phantasy Star Online and Destiny.
Yep.
I would say because I'm more of the FPS, like you said. I'm more in the FPS game. So Destiny was a game that I played a little bit of. So, but I am excited to try this. And
yeah, well, this is going to be your re-entry into the RPG space then.
No, yeah, it definitely looks like a fun game, and I think people undervalue how big mobile gaming is.
I can promise you, people completely undervalue it.
It's huge.
It is a lot bigger than desktop and console gaming. A lot bigger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
Let's see. Will legendary and mythic items be available to players who solo dungeons, or will they need assistance from a guild?
No. So yeah, as I said, there's the two are relatively separate. There's going to be elements of solo gameplay, and then there's obviously the elements of playing within a guild and being part of a guild.
Okay. And then equals actually, this is actually something that I was thinking about. So say if you're not part of a guild, but you wanted to, could you still play with like 4 other solo people?
Undetermined at this point. Yeah.
Okay. It's because I was thinking about that as like, what if like me and a couple of my friends weren't part of a guild, or like could you play with people that are part of different guilds?
Yeah, they are mechanics to be fleshed out, put it that way.
Okay. And then let me see. Oh, make sure you guys are following the stream or subscribing if you're over on YouTube, and also check out Guild of Guardians on Twitter and join their Discord. What you guys are doing?
Yeah, jump in. It's pretty bonkers in there at the moment.
Go in there, ask about Justin Bieber.
115,000 people in our Discord, and
115,000
there at the moment. Yeah, 115K.
Well, yes, I saw you guys had you guys had over like 100,000 people that are like pre-registered, right, for the game.
Yeah, it's actually pushing up towards 200,000. I think we're at about 170,000 pre-registered. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm probably biased, but I think it's going to be an extremely successful product that does very well long term with a big player base.
Yeah, I mean, 100, just that many people just wanting to even try it. That's impressive.
I appreciate it.
Let's see if we have any more questions. Let's see. Oh yeah, a couple people have been asking about. You guys have been mentioning a snapshot on Twitter and Discord.
I tweeted last night. We've just taken the snapshot because we've just taken a snapshot of something to facilitate something else, which I'm not going to talk about. But literally, the Discord last night was like, it was an absolute firestorm. Seriously, it was like, you know, those old comics, those old cartoons where someone would roll a scroll out and the scroll would just fly and it would just keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
It was like that if you took a thread of it. No, I'm not going to give any more information about the snapshot. I appreciate people coming through a different avenue back door to try and find out what it's about. I think my advice is always keep an eye on Discord and Twitter, and the information will become clear in due course.
That's
It's good though. It's good
it's always good to keep people on the edge of their seat.
for sure. Exactly. The clue I will give is that we have always prioritized giving back to our community members. So I will say that.
Okay. So if you guys are part of the community, then you got nothing to worry about. You might be in the snapshot. You probably are in the snapshot. What I literally just had. Oh, so yeah, you're partnering with NRG. I guess I don't really know about PvE esports, but like, do you guys have any plans of like doing more esports stuff?
We, how do I say this? We really like what the esports ecosystem has to offer. So
Yeah. I used to actually play professional Call of Duty. So esports,
crazy.
Yeah, esports and crypto gaming and stuff like that. It just interests me. I'm always curious.
For sure, it's a very exciting space to be a part of, particularly at the moment. It's got a long way to go. We're very, very keen to be. We believe, we think we've got the best mobile NFT gaming product on the planet at the moment. So we're excited to sort of lead the charge on that front and carry people on our shoulders.
That's just even looking like at these, I don't know what happened to this other gameplay. Oh, this one right here. Like, like it just already looks like a well polished game, and
the gameplay's crazy. I mean, the video you've got there is like it's so much better. Like I played a fair bit, play testing, and we're iterating on builds. Like it's 10x that in terms of quality of graphics and kiting and different sort of actual gameplay mechanics. But it's sick. It's going to be really good. The audio is crazy as well. Like the audio in game is literally out of like Lord of the Rings. It's so good. It's so good.
That's good. It gives a good audio gives a good immersive experience. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely excited. If anyone in chat has any more questions, feel free to ask. Is there any alpha that you would like to share?
Nope.
No alpha.
No alpha.
There you go, guys. We asked.
Discord and Twitter. That's where you got to keep your eyes.
Yep. Make sure you're like I said, following on Twitter, join their Discord. That's where you're going to get the alpha at. Well, I don't, like I said, I've pretty much asked everything that I think, that I could ask.
Yeah. I hope I did a good enough job of explaining the project and what we're trying to do and the team we've got.
It was great.
Like I said, every person's eyes that we can open and get into the community is a win. So we've got a long future ahead of us.
Wait, I didn't ask Eric. When does when does the game launch?
We're getting towards the point where, so you can look at the dates in the roadmap, and we've basically said that there's a soft alpha launching sort of back end of Q1 2022, which looks like a reasonable timeline considering the progress we're making. Like again, all those dates sort of come with a caveat because we're not going to ship a product that we aren't really, really stoked with. So, but yeah, that's sort of the ballpark of when we start getting the product into people's hands to start testing, breaking it, and fixing it and building it. So that's the first step where we're very, very excited for that. Working out who's going to alpha sort of play test the game is going to be a different issue because there are a lot of people who really want to do it. So that's an issue for the start of the new year, I think.
Yeah. Do you have any worries about like too many people wanting to play?
Oh, no, it's a great problem to have. I think, and look, I think if a defendable way that we allocate sort of alpha play testing spots, that's good. And I think realistically, people long term just want the best product built. And so it's sort of they're necessary growing pains, and I think that it's much better to have increased demand for alpha playtesting spots than not enough people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there are obviously going to be people who are disappointed by the fact that they don't get that opportunity, but I think in 5 years' time, when we've got 50 million players and people are earning money playing a game they love with their friends, it's probably going to be an okay outcome.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys? Someone in chat mentioned that they were building a social hub in Sandbox. Like, are you guys
Yeah,
doing anything in Sandbox?
yeah. Shout outs to Tomahawk. He's really like just an excellent creator. We sort of gave him a community grant to go and start building like a GOG hub or like HQ in Sandbox.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, we've actually got a partnership with Sandbox. I forgot to mention. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
executing on that after NRG. So we've got NRG coming, and then Sandbox is what we'll sort of shift our attention to. But there's like that's actually a really exciting partnership with them. We love what they're doing as well. They're sort of a really impressive company, and the interactions that we've had with their team have been super positive so far. So
Have you played
yeah.
the Sandbox Alpha at all?
Yeah, I have. It's really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
they sort of envisage and capture a lot of what makes us tick as a company as well, and as a team of people trying to grow our brand and grow our project. So yeah, a lot of symbiosis between us, and we're going to execute on that partnership that we announced a little while ago with them pretty soon.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because I was running around on just in the Alpha Hub, and I was surprised about like how big the plots of land really are. Like I
They're
don't know
crazy.
how I don't know how big your guys' social hub plot of land is, but in the
Um,
Alpha Hub, it was like I think it was like a 3x3, and it was huge. Like the amount of
yeah,
stuff they were building in there.
yeah, they are big. I'm very jealous of people who got in early with those plots.
Yeah.
They're worth a pretty penny at the moment. So full respect to them. They executed and saw the vision and jumped in. So,
Yep.
but yeah, we're we're just. I think everyone's sort of really happy and blessed to be working in this space and growing the community and growing the noise around what everyone's trying to do. So, in many ways, you're kind of all in it together, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's I think that's all I got for me. If there's anything else that you would like to add, any closing statements?
Come and join the revolution. Basically, it's
Join the
it's
revolution.
yeah, it's always a pleasure to jump on and talk with like-minded people and explain what we're trying to do. And
Mm-hmm.
we've got a long way to go, but we think that we're onto a winner. So if you're interested and you haven't heard of us before, or you want to come and hang out, jump in our Discord, follow us on Twitter. And for the GOG family who I see in this chat who have been with us for a year now, thank you for your continued support, and we will keep lifting from here.
All right. Well, once again, thank you very much for coming on. Guys in chat, make sure you guys are following the stream. Follow GOG on Twitter. Join their Discord. Join the Sandstorm Discord. And yeah, we will be live again on what is today? It is Monday or Friday. We'll be live again on Monday. Or no, today's Monday. Today's Monday. We'll be live again on Wednesday. I don't even know where I am anymore.
You need some sleep, my friend.
I know. Yeah. We'll be live again on Wednesday.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
No problem.
Beauty. All right. Catch you soon.
All right. I'll catch you.
See ya. Bye.
Yep. Today. Oh man. It's been a long day. But yeah, no, this game looks sick. I don't think you guys can hear my screen, but definitely excited to try the game out and try to join a guild. Like I said, I'm not very good at RPG games, but hopefully someone would pick me up for a guild. Like you said, I think there will be plenty of spots for people to try to join guilds and possibly even own some in the future. You'll find me one. There will be one out there. Hey, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not good at RPG games and I'm not very good at mobile games, but I could definitely get practice at it. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for stopping in by the stream. We'll be live again on Wednesday. I know what day it is. Don't worry, guys. I don't need to be checked in somewhere. And I'll catch you guys in the next stream. I think Buffester is going to be on Wednesday speaking with Lost Soul Sanctuary. So you should come check that out.